Go for main engine start. T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. All three engines up and 1, 0, and liftoff. The final liftoff of Atlantis on the shoulders of the space shuttle. America will continue the dream.
Program, Houston.
Roger, roll, Atlantis. Houston now controlling the flight of Atlantis. The space shuttle spreads its wings one final time for the start of a sentimental journey into history.
Bill Harwood, there is nothing like this. There is nothing like this on the drawing boards. We are not likely to see a spacecraft of this size, complexity, and capability, perhaps in our lifetimes.
No, we're really not. I was just thinking, watching it come off the pad, that I'm never going to see that again. And we're all so used to it. The shuttle is almost iconic in this country in terms of that winged orbiter that we're all so used to, and we're not going to see it again. It's quite a moment.
The three liquid fuel main engines throttling back to 72% of rated performance in the bucket, reducing stress on the shuttle as it goes transonic for the final time.
Breaking the sound barrier now.
Engines now revving up, standing by for the throttle up call.
Atlantis, go at throttle up, no action, DPDT.
Nothing like it in the world. Bill Harwood, what are we seeing now?
We have a camera on the side of the external tank that they beam down that show the view from the orbiter itself. They're obviously looking for any signs of foam insulation that might come off during the ascent that could pose a debris threat to the shuttle. Nothing obvious in the early moments of flight. There was a warning alarm for a pressure alarm in the cockpit. Mission Control told them no problem on that, no action required. So far, so good.
Shuttle astronaut Steve Robinson, what's going on in there at this moment? You've done this 4 times.
Well, I wish I were on there right now, but those guys are having the time of their life, and they're focused as human beings can possibly be. They had an alarm go off that turns out to be a transducer on the cabin pressure, and so Mission Control radioed up and told them not to worry about it.
There go the solid rocket boosters, jettisoning after 2 minutes of flight.
And Scott, they're up about 30 miles in altitude right now, going about a mile a minute already. A mile a second, I should say, already.
The space shuttle running now on its 3 main engines, draining the fuel out of that enormous fuel tank, which we will also see separate from the orbiter here in just a few minutes. Steve, everything looks safe, going well?
Looked beautiful, looked fantastic, just like a space shuttle launch.
Atlantis, 2-engine TOW. 2-engine TOW.
That call
Bob Orr is here at the Kennedy Space Center with us up on the roof of this structure, which just shook like it was in an earthquake. Bob Orr, what are you seeing there? We are 7 minutes after liftoff, and in about a minute or so, the main engines of the shuttle will shut down as planned, and the orbiter will be orbiting the Earth at, believe it or not, 8 times the speed of a rifle bullet. Bill Harwood, what will the astronauts be doing on this 12-day mission?
It's a very important mission for the International Space Station, Scott. You know, they have some private companies trying to build unmanned cargo ships to take over for the shuttle to keep the supplies going to the space station to support a 6-person crew. They haven't flown yet. NASA's concerned that if they run into any technical problems, they'd like a little bit of a hedge against that, some insurance. This flight's going to take up enough equipment, really, to keep the station crew good for a full year through 2012 in case the commercial companies run into some problems.
We should be about 30 seconds from main engine cutoff, and is it at that point, Steve, that we see the external tank fall away?
20 seconds after that. What the crew is undergoing 3G press down through their chest right now. It's hard to breathe. They're looking forward to that main engine cutoff, which means the rocket engine stop and the thrust stops, and then you're now floating in space.
And we should see that main engine cutoff momentarily. You can start to see some atmospheric effects there. There still is an atmosphere up there. They're very high, but it's an interesting thing to watch.
Well, we just heard confirmation of main engine cutoff. let's wait for the external tank to separate from the orbiter. That's the orbiter at the top. You're looking at the bottom of the Atlantis at the top of the screen, the bottom of the screen. There goes the external fuel tank falling away. The camera is literally on the external fuel tank. There goes the Atlantis rising into space. They are now safely in orbit, and it is the last time that anyone will ever see that.